And now for our last lecture on attitudes, and I want to point out that these three concepts are coming from chapter 9. So groupthink occurs when people want to have strong relationships with the other members of their group, and so they inhibit maybe what their natural responses would be in order to say things that are more likely to keep the group together. So they care in some ways more about making sure that the group is together than making a good decision. So let's say we ask this bunch of executives, should we spend more money on advertising? And all of them think, no, we really shouldn't spend more money on advertising. Now we say, okay, we want you to tell us out loud, how do you feel about spending more money on advertising? And the first guy says to himself, well, I don't want to be the guy that says no all the time because that guy isn't really great for group morale, so I'm going to say yes. The next guy's like, oh, well, I was thinking no, but I don't want that first guy to think that I, think he's stupid. So, yeah, I'll say yes too. And that just happens for the whole group. And so they all end up saying yes, even though they all thought no. So groupthink is occurring because this interest, this pressure to have strong intergroup relationships is overriding the desire to make sure that you make a good decision. Groupthink can also have a relationship with group polarization. And group polarization occurs when a group discusses their attitudes and they become more extreme in their attitudes. So all these executives have now said, yes, we should spend more money on advertising, and they talk about it, and then we ask them again, hey, do you think we should spend more money on advertising? And they're like, yes, we definitely do. So their attitudes became more extreme after they had a chance to discuss it within themselves. Lastly, groups are willing to take more risks than individuals are. So we have a new question. Should we expand to Argentina? And we're going to ask this woman, and she thinks, no, I really don't think we should expand to Argentina. And yet, when we ask her in a group, she thinks, yeah, I do think we should expand to Argentina. Why is this happening? Well, as an individual, she feels the full responsibility of this decision. But when she's a member of the group, the responsibility for that decision is kind of diffused across the group. And if something bad happens, sort of the blame gets spread across a whole bunch of people instead of just on one person. So when you're an individual, you're very highly aware of the fact that if something bad happens, you are going to be singled out and you don't want that to happen. But when you're in a group, you're like, well, it's kind of everybody's fault if we make a bad decision, so I'm more willing to take risks because the consequences for me individually wouldn't be so bad. So risky shift occurs because groups, everybody in the group is thinking, well, it wouldn't be so bad if this group makes a bad decision than it would be if I was making this decision solely by myself and I was solely responsible for it. Now, obviously, everybody in the group isn't sitting around thinking like that exactly, but that's kind of what ends up happening in people's minds.